We welcome our viewers here in the United States and parts of the world. And today I have Mr. Mwelwa, Chanoda Faxon Mwelwa, and we'll be talking about the problems that our country, Zambia, is facing. Because, I mean, it's the fact. Everybody is not happy in the country, you see, because what they were voting for is not what they got. So this is a fact, and people are not satisfied. And I would like to hear the views of Mr. Mwelwa. Mr. Mwelwa is on the ground, in Zambia. He's right there on the ground. He can see what is going on. And we'll be talking also about PF because we want to see how we can rebrand the party and remove these people. Because what they said is not what they are doing. They have betrayed the trust of the Zambian people. So let me welcome Mr. Mwelwa on the program. I don't know, Mr. Mwelwa, how I can greet you because here we are in the morning. I don't know over there if you are in the afternoon or you are in the night.
We are actually in the afternoon.
Okay. So here we are in the morning, very early in the morning, and it's very cold. How are you, Mr. Mwelwa?
I'm very well, thank you, Mr. BaPhiri, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Mr. Mwelwa, can you introduce yourself to the world? Let the world know who you are. Tell us who you are, and before we start our show.
All right. As alluded to, my name is Chanoda Faxon Mwelwa. I am a Zambian from Africa, of course. I'm age 37, a very young man and a very vibrant young man, Zambian.
Yep.
I am an entrepreneur running a company called Horizon Consultants Zambia. I'm a public administrator, I am a teacher, and I am a student of administration currently.
Okay.
And I belong to the Patriotic Front, one of the opposition political parties that just came out of office.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mwelwa. I think you forgot one thing. You are also a Christian. Because I saw you with...
I am a Christian and...
I saw you with our own prophet from Nigeria. I saw you. You are also a Christian. And Zambia is also a Christian nation.
Yes, I am a Christian under Champions Royal Assembly, under a prophet Joshua. I have a branch in Zambia.
Yeah. So let's start our show by trying to... Let's reflect a little bit on the elections that were held last year in August. It seems to me like most of the people feel betrayed because I think what they were voting for is not what they got. Do you feel the same?
Precisely, yes. I feel the same because, look, we were promised quite a number of things. We were promised heaven on earth. We were promised a lower cost of living beginning at 12 August 2021. We were promised lower electricity, lower purchase of home commodities. We were promised that would be cheaper. We were promised that education actually say from grade 1 up to university. We were promised as well have free expression as a country when Hakali Sema and the END were to form government. And those are just a few promises that we were given as a country. And indeed, the Zambian people voted out 30 different numbers. And unfortunately, none of the promises that were promised have actually been held. There were immediate ones like, crumbling the dollar. If you were sworn in at 10 hours, 14 hours, the dollar is going to bow. We are told that the moment he comes into office, there will be investor. But from the time that he was sworn in, unfortunately, we have not seen this happen. He has actually shifted from almost all of them. And it is our duty as young people in Zambia and Africa in general to remind our people, those that seek political office, to say, can you promise me that you are actually able to do, and not promising that no, you cannot do. Otherwise, who are you as a politician who wants to get into office using false pretenses? Because in the first place, you lie, and the people hate your lie. So, in short, BaPhiri, I think we are yet to see if any of the promises are going to attend, any of the promises are going to be achieved by the new government under President Hakainde Hichilema.
Yeah, because I agree with you. Because you see, me personally, I was expecting that the president understands the problem of the youths. You see, because my main problem is the youths. Because if you look at the population of Zambia, you find that over 65% of the population are below 35 years old. So they are youths. So when the president was talking to the youths, making social contracts, I felt like he understood the problem of the youths. And I'm very disappointed with the president because I was, in my mind, I was thinking that when he gets that loan from IMF, the first loan that he applied for, and he got it, I was expecting him to deal with the problem of the youths. But instead, he went to the roads. He went to the school. I think he's in the western, in the western province or northwestern province, whatever it is. But see, to me, that is not an urgent issue. I think that he was supposed to deal with the youth problem right from day one. So because he didn't deal with the youth problem, I am disappointed with him and I'm not happy. You know? Now, Mr. Nguira, let me ask you this question. Do you think that this government should continue for the next 10 years?
You see, politics in Africa, unfortunately, has been marred by lies. It has been marred by fake promises. It has been marred by, serious techniques by those that want to form government. And talk about Zambia. You are going to agree with me, Mr. Piri, you being that 80% of the voters are actually the young people, the youths. Mm-hmm. So meaning that these are the trends of the outcome of any election. And we expect that our politicians are going to give priority to the affairs of the young people.
Yes.
Our politicians are going to prioritize the affairs of the young people.
Yep.
But unfortunately, we are at a stage where the young people are just used to help our politicians get office. And once they get office, they are broken. They are gone. In short, they are being used as doormats. They are being used as radar for our politicians. I'll give an example. President Cadre promised the young people that going to take care of their affairs. He promised the Zambian young people in colleges that the moment he gets to office, he's going to make sure that issues of student loans, issues of new allowances, and all sorts of that as a promise they are going to be done. And we actually went there the moment he formed, he's going to actually sell the jet, without to make sure that the amenities that these young people are facing in colleges are dealt with that money. But as we speak now, things are different. So we ask ourselves a lot of questions. Say, do these African politicians consider the plight of the young people, or are we just being used, for the sake of making them to be president, MP, and all? As we speak, I think there is no non-program apart from the program that President Chabalungu and the PFLF, which were with. Right? We have the Ministry of Sports, which are ongoing. Empowerment are ongoing. Those things were accepted by President Chabalungu. And I must say here that this is an international radio. It's not just Zambia listening, the world is listening. But at times, it's very important that it's very important that we speak the truth. It's very important that we face reality instead of, deceiving or telling our politicians lies. So as it stands, the youths this country, as we go forward, have not been taken care of. They are still in abject poverty. They have nothing happening. There was a social contract alluded, but the Secretary General of the UPNP, the ruling party, categorically refused that there was no such social contract. But facts are there. Facts are there. They were promised. But unfortunately, there has been on that. So really, if you ask me, people in this country, I'm quite worried. Because President Akanji is so of having gone, countries, borders of Africa, to condemn his brother, President Edgar Chagwa, of bad government, to condemn his brother, Chabalungu, of not taking care of the young. Now the man was passed to him, and we expect that opposite what was saying is going to happen. But, well, we are here, and we are waiting. Maybe, that's maybe. And on the issue of the 10 years, I doubt so much that young people of this country are going to see a president come 2026. I doubt so, unless there is a change, there is a paradigm change in the way governance is happening. Unless he fires all these ministers and permanent secretaries, because he has categorically said that they have been let down by his ministers and permanent secretaries. So maybe that is the reason why he's not feeling what he promised the Zambians. Otherwise, as things stand, we are at a standstill as a country.
Yeah, I think I'm glad, Mr. Ngwira, that you also doubt the fact that he can be there for the next 10 years. Because I personally, I'm waiting for him to come here in the United States so that we can see him and we can tell him the problems we are facing. Because the youths in America, me, I'm fine. I'm not a youth. I've already passed that age of youth. I'm over 50 years old. So I'm okay. But the youths, even abroad, you see, the youths in Zambia, they are suffering. And the youths abroad, they are all suffering because of this government, which they call themselves New Dawn. I'm very disappointed with them because they can't even issue passports to the youths here. So if you refuse to issue passports to the youths here abroad, which country is going to issue passports for these young people? Because these young people, they need to go to school, they need to go to college, they need to go and work. And his diplomats are denying passports to youths. It's very funny, Mr. Ngwira. They can give passports to older people like me. They won't give me any problem. They'll give me a passport. But guess what? They will refuse to give a passport to my children. You see? And there are so many Zambians whose children cannot go to school, they cannot go to college, they cannot even go and work because they don't have a passport, they don't have ID. You see? When they go to college, they ask them, where's your ID, where's your passport? And their own government is refusing to give them passports. I'm very disappointed with the president. And I would like him to come over here in September and meet us here at the United Nations. Let him meet us here. I'm very disappointed with the president. I was expecting that he understood the problem of the youths. But to my surprise is that not only the youths in Zambia are suffering, even the youths outside Zambia are also suffering under the leadership of this government. I think that this government should go, you know. I think that this government should go, Mr. Ngwira. And I think that a lot of Zambians have the same feeling. We cannot accept a government that is going to oppress their own people. And meanwhile, at the same time, they are giving tax holidays to the investors who are foreign. Zambia is losing over $1 billion every year because of tax holidays. But here in America, they call them tax breaks. So, Mr. Ngwira, what do you think the Patriotic Front should do to rebrand itself so that by 2026 we are able to remove this government from office through the ballot? What are your ideas? Because as we are talking now, PF is in complete confusion, infighting within ourselves. What do you think we should do as PF to organize ourselves so that we can remove this government in 2026 through the ballot, through the vote? Let me hear your ideas, Mr. Ngwira.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Phiri. Firstly, I would want to say that all hope is not lost within the 5 years mandate that President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND have. I think they can still do the right thing by going back to the drawing board and remind themselves to say, we promised the people of Zambia this and this. We promised the young people of this country this and this. So the best that we can do as things stand is to make sure that we fulfill whatever thing that we could have promised the young people and the Zambian people in general. I think we still have hope. We still have natural resources. We have minerals all over. We have, tourism and quite a number of, resources that can earn us good dollars from the USA and, other Asian countries. The issue is there must be political will. The issue is that there must be truthfulness in our politicians. Otherwise, the importance of removing one government and bringing in another is not going to be realized because the Patriotic Front was voted out of power on the premise of the corruption tag, on the premise of Cadreism, on the premise of saying they were not sharing the cake, equally as among the citizens. They were kicked out of power on the premise that President Edgar Lungu kept peace around. But we are in the new dawn. It is almost 6 months down the line. We are still seeing issues of corruption, allegations among his own ministers. And the president confessed that and say, I have ministers that have learned how to do corruption. My God. And we have a situation where a national youth chairman of the ruling party, whereas the police say, once we hear anyone, according to him, attacking President Baga in the HM, we are going to beat that person. We won't care whether the police will be there or not. We have the likes of William Banda issuing threats to the Patriotic Front and the opposition in general to say if they want to campaign in a particular area, they will face us and will make sure that we face them. So the change that this country really was hearing is definitely not there because even within the UPND themselves, there is total confusion. Within the UPND themselves, there is total, quarrel because that realization of Mr. Akaite, Chilema's promises, is not there. And so we are worried. What more us who are outside? Like you have put it, the youth were promised that there will be priority in terms of mining, there will be priority in terms of businesses, there will be given priority in terms of all sorts of things. But as we speak now, we are being told that mining rights are being given foreigners. Not that they can't wait, but it's the part of the Zambian people in those mining rights. So those are the things that we are basically asking ourselves. Coming to my party, the Patriotic Front. Patriotic Front is still strong. Patriotic Front still has people. Because as you are aware, the new detection happened in 2021. It happened in 2001 when MMD. In 2011, people are still intact and they are not away from Patriotic Front to join UPND. So that is to tell you that after is still very strong. All we need to do is to put our house in order. Stop these quarrels, stop these differences, stop this exchange of words. I think they should also realize that there are young like Chano Dangwira, there are young people up there like Charles Soko, Inongo Miloke, Sally, and all those young people that must be fused in terms of the rebranding. Otherwise, it will be something that will be very difficult. And I know the UPN are making sure that PF does not plan so that we can have it easy come 2026. But believe you me, the Zambians are watching. Only if or only when they achieve what they promised the Zambians. Otherwise, as we speak, they're bad. Already they were suggesting election fees for electricity are going to be more than 3 times. You talk of issues of more than 3 times in terms of increment until the therapy is started. So there's a lot of confusion, not only in UPND, but also in here. But believe you me, we are here and we make sure that we rebrand the Patriotic Front.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ngwira. And I'm really happy with the idea of rebranding. And it is true that we have to rebrand. And my own views is that the older generation of PF should embrace the younger generation of PF so that we can have that true rebrand. If we are just going to have the older generation of PF, which lost the election, just change themselves in different positions, I think it will be difficult to rebrand. If the older generation of PF can open up to younger generation of PF, like you, Mr. Ngwira, and many others the Kapyangas of this world, then I think that PF can rebrand. So let's continue this discussion, Mr. Ngwira. If you are available next week, I would like us to continue this discussion because I know we cannot finish this discussion in one session. So let's continue next week and let's see how PF can rebrand. Because I've been talking to different people. I've spoken to the older generation of PF. They are saying, Nanguni Pamunzi, you cannot remove all the elders. You have to keep some elders, which is true.
Yeah.
And the younger generation too, they also need to participate in this rebranding. So I think that next week, Mr. Ngwira, let's pick it up from here, where how can we rebrand? How can we mix the older generation of PF, which are, some of them are founding members of PF, and the younger generation, because we cannot sideline the younger generation because over 60% of the Zambian population are below 35 years old, which means they are young. So please, Mr. Ngwira, I'd like to hear your ideas on how we can incorporate the younger generation to the older generation of PF so that we can truly rebrand.
You're very right. I wish, like you have said, we had all the time, but it's more like a preamble of our going forward regards discussing our warfare, especially in Zambia and Africa at large. And like you said earlier on, I would love when the president comes in September in the USA, he must be open enough, he must be open-minded, allow people to speak, allow the Zambians out there, because they need to be given passports, they need to be given permits and order so that they can access jobs in the USA. And they'll fall back into the country, and the economy is going to be, boosted in a way. And I believe that Zambia is not a country that is independent in terms of economically. We need others like from the USA and other countries. So thank you very much, Mr. I would appreciate, and thanks to the producers of this program. I would want to say that yes, next week I'm very much available. I will be here again so that we discuss quite a number of issues. I can assure you that I'm one person that decided to be a freedom fighter. And if it means being arrested, being framed for speaking the truth, I think I'm very much ready. I'm very much ready, and I'm very much ready.
Thank you, Mr. Ngwira. I will see you next week. Thank you so much, Mr. Ngwira.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.